some big names in the space. It feels like with all this inflation talk and everything, they're really starting to crack down on crypto. Does
Mhm.
make me a little nervous as far as, more so the states than anything. The rest of the world seems a little bit more open to the idea, but as far as the states, what do you think these implications are for the future of crypto and NFTs? We'll go over to Door first and then Joe second.
Like, while there is room for caution, I do think there's a lot of advocates in crypto with a lot of capital to push back against these laws. And I think that's the most important thing. We always knew regulation was going to come down, so it's not a surprise. So them going after people like Coinbase, who has literally been trying to do the legit thing since they've been established, but the SEC has severely lacked in any type of regulation. And if they're going to go after any entity for evading SEC laws, I think Coinbase is the one to do it. Same thing applies on the NFT side with Bored Apes. It's like, we always knew the SEC was going to crack down on NFTs, talking about their unregistered securities. Well, let's go after the number one NFT with the most liquidity to fight back. Hey, seems like the best shot, not my opinion. So while we're not out the woods yet in terms of any type of good regulation or what, I don't even know what's going to come out on the other end. At least there's a fighting chance to get something favorable to crypto regulation. But in the long run, regardless, even if there is negative legislation, this industry is going to continue to develop. It's not a United States-based industry. We'll see a pullback in the market, but guess what? I think we'll rebound because there's too many people out there that believe in this industry and what crypto offers for society overall. So in the long run, I still think we're going to keep. I'm still optimistic for the future, even though we're going to have a lot of bumps along the way.
I agree. In the grand scheme of things too, actually, let's let Joe respond to this and then I'll give my final thoughts on it. Joe, what do you think about all this, with these big leaders that we always knew were kind of scammy in the first place? It's not like this is anything new. We knew Justin Sun was just doing Justin Sun things. I mean, Tron from the get-go had a very cult-like behavior, reminded me a lot of XRP, except, more in a place with less legal and ramifications and everything like that. And feel like he got away with it for a longer period of time. What are your thoughts on all this, Joe, as far as legislation and everything like that? Do you worry at all for the future of NFTs and crypto?
So for the USA, this is how it is, man. Big money moves slow. They've realized decentralization is a direct opponent to the US dollar, right? And to banking systems in general, centralized banking system. They want you to give them your 10K with 0% APY so they can go leverage 100K and get their 4 to 5%, right? So if you think about it like that, and they have to have the ability, since it's decentralized, to own enough of these cryptos for themselves to feel okay and to be able to set up some type of APY service like Coinbase has, right? But not until they can, right? Not until they have, JP Morgan bank accounts on chain, right? We have a central bank digital currency. Great. Then you'll see the APYs and DeFi come out, but it's all going to be through the big guy, right? And it might sound a little, conspiracy theorist, but if you look at the money trails and watch how people move on the back end, right? It's been years in the making. It just kind of makes sense. So to me, this is all, it is what it is. They're going to go after the big heavy hitters because they fall the hardest and they make the most ripples. And they'll do their best to FUD for a better entry. They want your cryptos, they want your coins. And then once all said and done, they'll have a nice DeFi set, a nice wallet set up, a nice ACH transfer instantly, right? Everything we're used to, but it's going to be through them. So guys, not your keys, not your crypto, right? Cold storage is so important during these times, right? To be honest with you, not financial advice, right? But having your big money off exchanges come end of April might be a good idea, man. I'll be honest with you, right? Having big money on exchanges come the end of April is scary to me. It really is at the moment. So to be honest with you, there's a few NFT hedges that I'll hold, but the rest, man, I'd rather be liquid right now. I'd rather miss a bottom and buy back in than get burned, right? And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm just very cautiously optimistic. I love this space. I don't think we're going anywhere, but we do have some time and some trials and tribulations to get through here.
No, Joe, I completely agree with you, dog. I hate to sound conspiracy theorist as well, but it's like I believe that big money doesn't understand the space yet, but knows it has potential, and they're going to FUD their bags until they can get the largest position in to have the greatest benefit of the market, man. So that's why it's like anytime I see some big money, or especially those in the media, or even regular normies who don't understand it, try to talk negative about crypto, It's like, yo, you guys are just trying to FUD me out of my position. How many times was Bitcoin supposed to be going to zero since it's been established? Like, I can't, back in what, 2012, I recall, it's like people were like, oh, Bitcoin's finally going to come to an end after breaking a new all-time high, and it hasn't changed, man. And it just kept going up and up and up. And it's the same thing in this environment. It's like, we can't just let them FUD us out of our bags, man.
I agree. And in the grand scheme of things too, it is like, how are you going to stop crypto? Like, how are you? Because I don't really see a way. They can shut down the centralized exchanges, which just makes it harder for us to get on ramps, and off ramps for fiat, which, at the end of the day, we need to pay bills still, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, that's just going to accelerate the fact that a lot of people are going to use payment methods for different cryptos as well. Like, they're going to use the Moon Pays of the world. They're going to use Astro Pays and everything like that, where I think that'll just accelerate that process where people are like, you know what? I have all this crypto. I don't plan on going away from it. I am going to use it for payments. We are going to start seeing some more people open-minded to it. But I think in the short to medium term, it does add some implications. It does make things a little bit more hazy. But in the long term, I think this just accelerates that, like, hey, we need to get stuff out now. So this does become a payment network that is, interoperable in the sense that we can switch things with ease. We can also pay with ease. And it's just, if we can make it more convenient, especially for first world countries, right? That's what we care about these days. Convenience. It's all about convenience. So if we can make it more convenient for people, we're good. We're Gucci. I think in the long run, we win, especially with fiat.
Yep.
And talking about the US dollar not being pegged to a lot of Russia's international trade, where they're starting to accept the won and ruble now, that's where things, like, they're going to have all this currency war. And at the end of the day, you want to know what isn't going to be in that currency war? Cryptocurrency. Like, in the long run, we're gonna come out on top. We'll let them squabble and stuff, but and that's not even like tinfoil hat theory. I just think a lot of people, like we the people, accept the fact that this is borderless. We don't have to worry about conversion rates or anything like that. We can use it for payments. We can use it for store value. And I think it does help. And in the long run too, I think, or the short to medium term, I think speculation on NFTs does take a hit. And in the long run, we'll come to find out, like, hey, this is still fun. We're still going to have speculation, everything like that. So yes, I'm with Joe in the sense that I want to remain, this is like much more of a, let's get liquid over the next month or so, ASAP. And then we can figure out the rest later. And I'm so fine missing out on moves and everything like that, knowing that I'm taking risk off the table for me. So that's just my 2 cents. I definitely agree. Good takes from both of you guys. I appreciate it.